How's it going, people? Kane at KBT Detailing. Here we have in front of me a package that was sent out from a company called Beneath Zero. Sent me out this package and just pretty much just told me to use it and let you guys know what I think of the products. So what we're going to be doing is going through how much each of the products cost. We're going to be giving you a real world scenario, especially on the drying towels and things like that, letting you know exactly what we think, and we're going to be rating them out of 5 stars. So that's included the price and whether we think they're any good. So without further ado, let's get into it. First on the list is these 50 microfiber cloths. So these retail at £17. Me personally, I would not use these on the exterior of the car unless it's things like windows and maybe wheels and plastics. I wouldn't go near the paintwork with these, only because with paintwork I like to use a slightly higher quality microfiber cloth, only because I just feel like I can get a better feel for the paint, and also they just work a lot better on paint. These would be great for inside the car on things like panels, wiping over leather seats, just things like that. So I would give these I'd give these a 4 out of 5, only because you get good value for money. You get £17 for 50 microfiber cloths is pretty good. When comparing these to things like Halfords, I think you get 20 in a box at Halfords. I can't quite remember exactly how much they cost, but they're about the same quality as the Halfords ones. So I'd definitely choose these over the Halfords ones. Next on the list is the microfiber wash mitt. So this wash mitt retails at £10. Me personally, I think that is one of the best wash mitts that you can buy for that price. £10 is not a really expensive price, it's not really cheap, it's kind of in the middle. You can buy some cheap ones for £5.50, £6, like the ones you can get from Halfords, but these ones definitely feel slightly higher quality. Even when you're using the product, some people will hold the mitt on the exterior like this and then they'll wipe the panels over. Me personally, I don't like doing that. I like to physically put the mitt on. When you put the mitt on with this, you do feel like there's quite a lot more room than a usual mitt. I prefer that, to be honest. It does feel quite baggy. I can see some people not liking that, but me personally, I like that, because when you're doing door cards and you're doing fuel cap areas and things like that, intricate areas, or even wheels, you could use these on wheels. You feel like you've got a lot of movement with the cloth, and you feel like you could just get in these tight areas. Personally, I think I'd give this maybe a 4 out of 5, only because I do think I'd prefer it if it was slightly smaller, so I feel like I get a better grip on the hand. But in terms of everything else, that's just me being really picky, which is why it's going to get a 4 out of 5. Next up, we have the grey and yellow microfiber buffing towel. So this towel I don't really like, in all fairness. I think it's too big. It's when I'm using a buffing cloth, I want something small, same sort of size as the mitt, maybe a little bit larger, but nothing as tall as that one is. It's too big. It's just when you're trying to get in certain areas, you're not really going to be covering that kind of surface area with a buffing towel. You can definitely get away with a smaller towel. I'm going to give that, I think the actual towel itself is good. I just think it's way too big. It's going to get a 3 out of 5, and that is just because it is way too big. So the price for the buffing towel is £25. Me personally, I would not pay that. I definitely wouldn't be paying £25 for an extra large buffing towel. Maybe if you bought it and chopped it up into smaller sections, maybe that would be better. But let me just show you how big it actually is. Don't get me wrong, it's a good towel, but one thing I do also like, I like the embroidery. I like how they've embroidered the logo into the actual towel. So that's how big a buffing towel is. I've never seen a buffing towel that big. A normal drying towel, yes, but this isn't a drying towel. And if it is a drying towel, it doesn't do the job very well at all. It just leaves smears on the bodywork. But in terms of the design and the overall practicality of it, yeah, it's good. But me personally, I definitely wouldn't be buying this. So moving on to probably my favourite piece of the package that was sent out to me, and that is this extra large microfiber drying towel. So slightly different to the buffing towel, this one is designed solely for drying the car. I don't think that there is ever a drying towel that can impress me better than this one. I've used loads of different drying towels, cheap ones, expensive ones, ones in the middle. This one is by far the best. I like the fact that it's big. I think it might be even slightly larger than the buffing towel, but that adds to the drying capability, because when you're drying a panel, something like a bonnet or a window or a roof, you've got a lot more freedom with a towel. You can dry areas a lot faster rather than a smaller area where you're constantly going over little sections. You can just hit one panel with this and the whole bonnet's dry, or 2 passes, 3 passes, and the whole bonnet's dry. This one retails at £29, so £30. The only problem I found with the drying towel was that it's one-sided. So the back side of the drying towel is it's a weird material. So it's not like the microfiber on both sides, like the buffing towel. It's just one side. I would prefer it if it was double-sided, because I just think it'd just be a lot easier, rather than just keep having to obviously use it and then you've got to discard it, because it's not discard it as in throw it away, but if you've got multiple cars to do and you're using that same towel, which is perfectly fine to do, because you've already done a decontamination and you've already done a contact wash. So if you're literally just drawing water, I'd definitely say it's safe to do on multiple cars if doing it at the same site. Obviously, if you're doing it in multiple areas and this towel is it's just sat in the back of the van or the car, obviously you want to be using something different. But for what it is, I do think it could be better by having the double-sided. I think I would actually change it from 5-star, because that was my original thought. I'd probably put it to potentially 4, 3 or 4, probably 4, only because of that double-sided. I just prefer it like that, because I can do what I need to do, flip it over, and then I've got a clean side to it to work with then, instead of having to keep changing the towel. So the wax is actually one of the things that I didn't get a chance to use, only because I prefer to use a ceramic sealer over a normal wax. So I can't really give my my thoughts on the actual product itself, but what I can give is the fact that it smells lovely. So inside the bottle, it's like a pink solution, and it smells lovely. Obviously, it's just a plain and simple black box with a bit of logo, nothing crazy. Yeah, smells nice. So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, just because of the smell. Quick one before we move on. This wax is actually £15. Because I've not physically used it, I can't say whether that's actually value for money or not. So I'm gonna have to leave that up to you guys. If anyone's actually used that, drop it in the comments and let me know if it's actually any good. Another one of the products that I actually really like is the interior detailer. So this interior detailer is £11, which I think is pretty good for 500ml. So this can do your levers. It's pretty much an all-purpose cleaner, and any all-purpose cleaner, as long as it can do what you need it to do, the cheaper the better. Because at the end of the day, you're only going to be wiping plastics and things over. I don't physically use an all-purpose cleaner on leather and things like that. I'd use a dedicated leather cleaner, only because I just think it leaves a better finish, and that's what it's designed to do. That's better for your plastics, and if you just need to wipe over a small section of leather potentially that you can't get to with your normal leather cleaner, or even sections that you physically can't see, that you don't want to use a dedicated leather cleaner for, you can use an all-purpose cleaner. So I'd probably give that a 4 out of 5, to be honest, because that was actually pretty good. So last up is this interior smelly. So with these interior smellies, I did look on the website and they do actually do a few different variants of this smelly bottle. This one is called Saffron and Sandalwood. I think the bottle's pretty cool. I like how it's small and compact. You can just stick it in your little bag and do what you need to do. Obviously the bottle can be reused once you finish using it, but the part that I like the least is the smell. So me personally, the smell's not for me. It's like a woody smell, a really woody smell. Yeah, this one's probably going to get I'm going to give it probably a 2 out of 5, only because the smell does linger really well, which is obviously what you want with with any type of fragrance, especially when you're leaving in a customer's car. But because the smell's not very good, that's going to drastically bring it down. Let me know what other people think about this, because me personally, I don't like this smell. I would like to try a few of the other different ones, because I think the other ones could be good, because they do seem really potent, which is obviously what you want. Another reason I want to try the other variants of that smelly bottle is because they're only £7. So £7 you get 100 ml. Considering how potent that one is, like I say, it would be great to smell the other ones. So I know they do a few other scents. But yeah, I'm going to look at getting some of them. So I'll let you know whether they're any good. But that one's it lingers and it's good, but the smell's just not very nice. It's not something that I would use. I would use at all, to be honest. So that's all for my little review on the Beneath Zero package that I got sent out. What I will do is leave a little link to their website, because there's loads of things on there that you can have a look at, and things that I've not even mentioned, which they sell. So you can go and take a look and see if anything takes your fancy. But yeah, I'm really enjoying using all this stuff. So it's definitely stuff that I'm going to continue using. But if there's anybody else who wants to send me any stuff to do a little review on, drop me a message on Instagram. I will leave a little link in the description, because I quite enjoy reviewing stuff and testing things out. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in a bit.